Hello everyone, I'm Louis from DAP Technologies. Nice to meet you here. As we know, urban air mobility becomes a fast-growing business, and eVTOL plays a key role in this growing. According to the reports from Morgan Stanley, the potential markets of OEM will be trillions in 2050. This revolution will change mobility in the future and even style of human living. Why is eVTOL? Compared to the conventional aircraft, the eVTOL is more reliable, lower noise, emission-free, lower operation costs, and even fly-in autonomy. The daily mobility dimension will be from 2D to 3D, the traffic jam will not be a problem anymore, and huge infrastructure costs will not be unnecessary in certain areas. Due to the new technology developed like the DAP technology, new battery and motor systems, autonomy technology, and the vast ATM system, etc., they make the eVTOL can be reality. At present, eVTOL is a really hot topic, not only in US and Europe, but also in China. In this video, I would like to introduce more about eVTOL in China and let you know more about the Chinese regulatory environment. CAAC. The full name is Civil Aviation Administration of China. It belongs to MOT, Ministry of Transport. Less similar like the FAA in the US. How do they work? What departments do they have? Here is the organizational structure of CAAC. There are several departments in CAAC, like CAAC-AAD, Aircraft Airworthiness Certification Department of CAAC, CAAC-FSD, the Flight Standards Department of CAAC, CAAC-ATMB, Air Traffic Management Bureau of CAAC. CAAC-AAD is the responsible department of eVTOL certification. They collaborate with other departments like the CAAC, CAAC, and the regional administrations which provide support to CAAC-AAD to complete the full certification works. Europe and the US are today's leaders. They follow the step-by-step authorization approach to certifying hardware, services, and infrastructure. They do the certification work start from the piloted version first, and the autonomous version will be something next in the future. EASA and FAA even think that it is impossible to approve an autonomous eVTOL type certificate in 10 years. But something is different in China. CAAC is very open and will be a challenger in the eVTOL area. The first passenger eVTOL type certificate application accepted by CAAC is for autonomous eVTOL, EHang 216S. CAAC deals with the eVTOL certification work for both piloted version and the autonomous version simultaneously. Commercially delivering aircraft on markets, you must get the certification from the regulator. In the different phases, you need the different certifications. For example, from designing, producing, and operating the aircraft, you need to apply the TC of VTC, PC, and COA. In this part, I will roughly introduce the certification basis, the certification processes, the certification pathways, and the regulatory frameworks during the eVTOL TC of VTC application in China. The certification basis. Important milestone in the TC of VTC application is defining the certification basis. eVTOL certification basis is combined the application requirements from CCAR 23, 27, 29, 36, and other airworthiness requirements from EASA and FAA regulations, or the industry standards like the ASTM standards, etc. The certification processes. In CAAC, the type certificates will follow the O3 procedure, AP21AA 2011 03R4, and the validation type certificates VTC will follow the O1 procedure, AP2101R2. CAAC type certificates processes are very similar to the process from FAA, but there's a little bit different in detail levels. The mode of type certificates process as the chart shows, they are mainly the same, but a little bit different. The certification pathways. The certification pathways in place for eVTOL in China, as shown here. As the special category aircraft, this classification will provide greater flexibility in operational regulatory framework rather than to have to use the standard category regulations. Follow AP21AA 2011-03R4. The pilot and autonomous passenger eVTOL should select this pathway. As the standard category aircraft, this classification must follow the current operational regulatory framework. That is not very flexible and will take a longer TC or VTC time. Follow AP21AA 2011-03R4. The autonomous passenger eVTOL for commercial operation should select this pathway. This pathway is too difficult for eVTOL to get TC. At present, it's just a pathway in theory. As the restricted category aircraft, this classification will provide greater flexibility too, but only suitable for special mission aircraft, not suitable for the commercial operation which needs the standard airworthiness certification. Follow AP21AA 2019-32. It has much less requirements and easier than AP21AA 2011-03R4. The autonomous cargo version eVTOL, or we should call it logistic drones, should select this pathway. The classification of UAS is on the risk and performance basis. Shunfeng in Jiangxi and Jingdong in Shanxi will all have this UAS logistic distribution application in China. Here are the regulatory frameworks relevant to eVTOL in CAAC. CCAR 21, the AP21AA 2011-03R4, we call it the 03 procedure in China, and other aviation procedures, like the AP2101R2, this is for VTC. You can download these documents from CAAC website. Here are the regulatory framework for UAS in CAAC. They adjusted the draft for commons version. They were not issued by CAAC, but maybe in the future. You also can download these documents from CAAC website. TC or VTC is just one of the certifications. The following steps should also be cared. Aircraft Evaluation Group, AEG. Projection Certificate, PC. Certificates of Airworthiness, COA. Air Operator Certificate, AOC, etc. In aviation world, safety is always priority. That is the regulator's responsibility to protect public's interest. Due to EHang 216S is the new type of aircraft, it has several novel designs, like DAP technology, motor and battery systems, autonomous flight, remote control and data link systems, etc. The current regulation cannot cover these new designs. So, CAAC formally issued a special condition for EHang 216S. This is the special condition for EHang 216. According to the special condition, the aircraft of EHang 216S unmanned air vehicle systems are expected to fly in low-altitude isolated airspace and are mainly used for commercial passenger operation in urban air mobility environments. This means the EHang can get the standard airworthiness certification for the commercial passenger operations, but it will have some restrictions. Like they only can fly in low-altitude isolated airspace, like the coast areas, mountain areas, the tourist application, etc., but can't fly into the fusion airspace, like the city center and the airport. According to the special conditions, EHang 216S can be as the special category aircraft to apply the TC from CAAC. This means EHang can start to define and submit the certification basis G1. After G1 defined, EHang will also define the means of compliance, MOC, and provide the certification plans, CP. After that will be the test and verification steps, etc. Issue the special condition is the just very beginning step for the type certificates, but it is very important milestone. EHang 216S is an autonomous eVTOL. The special condition include the remote control, the data link, and the ground station requirement, etc. It is the difference from the ongoing TC application in US. At present, there is no eVTOL gets the TAP certificates from the regulator in the whole world. Some eVTOLs are applying the TAP certificates from EASA and applying the concurrent validation from FAA simultaneously. The soonest TC will be approved until 2024, and concurrent VTC will be approved a few months later. The VTC will be based on the BASA between the two countries. China has closed BASA with EU and US, and CAAC has also closed TIP with EASA and IPA with FAA. So, if the eVTOL gets the TC from EASA or FAA, it could apply the VTC application from CAAC in principle. And if the eVTOL project was not covered by the TIP or IPA, CAAC could do these VTC projects in a way of case by case. CAAC certified eVTOL aircraft as special category aircraft. You can reference as eVTOL from EASA. EASA certified eVTOL aircraft as the special category aircraft too. And recently, FAA has decided to modify its regulatory approach and certified eVTOL aircraft as the special class aircraft using the existing power lift aircraft category. This classification will provide a greater flexibility in the operational regulatory framework by enabling to tailor requirements to this type of aircraft, rather than having to use airplane or helicopter regulations. And all the three regulators choose the same classification pathway will make it easier to validate the TAP certification between countries. eVTOL is so hot in China. More than 10 new startups has been founded in the last 3 years focused on the eVTOL business. Pioneer eVTOL OEMs selects EHang, Autoflight, Avic, and new startups OEMs like Volant, TCAP, Panto Aviation, Airfugia, ST Aero, Vertex, etc. Most of these OEMs reference ARP 4754A guidelines for development of civil aircraft and systems to design their aircraft. Supply chain OEMs in China like Volumotor, T-Motor, Cat Battery, Boundary Flight Control, Top Gun Flight Control, Average Systems, Huami Avionics, Long Rise Avionics, CTC, etc. The Chinese OEMs are more aggressive and have the lower tier aero cost. But as we do know, US has more experience in aviation. The Chinese OEMs will also need to learn something from US, like design assurance systems, safety management systems, and quality management systems, etc. Together with the developing of eVTOL technologies, especially autonomous flight, some new technologies should be developed in the future, like the new flight inspection system, the new takeoff-to-landing system, the new positioning system, and the new air traffic management system. China has very good industry foundation of electric vehicles. This will make big comparative advantage and competitive advantage in eVTOL manufacturing. At the same time, China is huge and open market and investors' home base. The whole eVTOL industry is booming up. I have confidence to see the new urban air mobility life to be reality. We have good eVTOL expertise. If you want to enter to China, we will be your best consulting partner. We're happy to show our value. Thank you very much.